Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Take Time Thursday. I'm Jenelle Cooper, your host. This program has been special to me because I have been with the program since its conception in April of last year. When the pandemic hit us in March, we quickly pivoted to a virtual platform, which we didn't have a lot of prior to the pandemic. And Take Time Thursday was the product of that. Take Time Thursdays with the Anacostia Community Museum gives participants a chance to take time for wellness, health, and creativity with artists, thought leaders, performers, wellness practitioners, and others. We're asking people to take a 30-minute break with us from 2:30 to 3 every other Thursday and boost your mind, your body, and your spirit. Just a little bit about me. I don't have a whole lot of time for this presentation, but whenever I'm inspired, I do a lot of writing. I write about my experiences, the things that I'm going through. So today I want to share some of my earlier writings with you in hopes that it will lift your spirits. Now, this first poem, it's a little kind of risque. So, may make you sweat a little bit. So forgive my church friends who may be on the line. Have you ever met someone and became totally smitten by them? I mean, you are totally infatuated with them. This person makes your heart flutter. And when you're with them, you have butterflies in your belly. Type in the chat if you know what I'm talking about here. And I'll give you a few minutes to respond. Okay, so this first poem, I was dating a guy about 20 plus years ago. I'm not gonna say how many years ago. And I was so into this dude, and I called him my Pooh Bear. So this poem is called A Poem for Pooh. I wanna get to know you more. Every part that you allow yourself to expose makes me want to know you more, I suppose. Your voice, so deep, so soft, so meek. Your kisses, so warm and smooth and sweet. Your hands are strong and your arms are long. They hold me and make me feel complete. I love the little boy within the man that plays with the little girl within me. Sometimes it's not fun being a grown-up. The responsibility, the bills, the maturity. So overwhelming that I want to escape, to be who I want to be. I just want to be me. I just want to be free. That is who you allow me to be. Just me, not who folks want me to be. I love being around you because I don't have to put up a front. I can be who I am right from the jump. You ask me why I care. I care because a man who is real is rare. You don't understand why I haven't given up yet. Let me break it down for you, son. You are unlike anyone whom I have met. You have tried to hide the real you, but I can see right through the barriers, the walls, the denial, the pain. I see it all. How? Because that's me all over again. You say you have a problem with trust. Well, you are not alone. I thought they loved me and found out it was lust. I've learned that you have to trust somebody at some point, and that trust is a trial and error process. But once you find someone you can trust, you've subtracted the mess. I can see who you really are. You've given me so many warnings and hints and have tried to throw me off course. But I know what you are getting at. Your clues have left a scent. Maybe I am taking a risk, but it is mine to take. Both our hearts are on the line. It's scary, like the tremble of a quake, but there is something about you that draws me, something that I just can't shake. I tried to go, but I just can't fake. There is so much about you that I still don't know, but it's the mystery in you that's like, whoa, something's got a hold of me. Because when you smile, I feel an urge through my body from the top of my head to the tip of my toe. Maybe it's the cocoa in my coffee that makes me yearn. I love chocolate. Everything about it makes me burn with an overwhelming desire I just want to be near it. The smell, the texture, the smoothness, the gesture, the taste, the satisfaction it gives. When it's made up of just the right blend, it places power over me. That kind of feeling has got to be a sin. I see your heart even when you try to hide it. Let the love flow, baby. You can't deny it. Wherever this thing ends up is on fate's side. I do not tempt fate. I just let it ride. So take this journey with me wherever we end up. And whatever fear we have, let's overcome it because I believe the journey will be well worth it. Have we exhausted the possibilities? My answer to that would be no. Once we do, then at that point I will go. But for now, I'm gonna let it do what it do, baby. And that is a poem for Pooh, something I wrote 20 plus years ago. A lot of people contact me to write for them for their mother's birthdays or retirement parties or whatever. They just are at a loss for words. And, you know, I've talked to many people who just said, Jenelle, you know, write me a little something. And so through a friend, there were these three siblings who were throwing a retirement party for their mother. And neither one of them were gifted in writing. They were all like math and science geeks. And they really wanted something nice to read at their mother's retirement. So I wrote this poem called Mother. And I've used it over the years because I had an awesome mother. She passed away in the fall of 2019, and she was what anyone would hope that a mother would be. She was just the best. This poem is called Mother. Proverbs describes the virtuous woman. We call her friend, protector, nurturer, teacher, counselor, our moral support, and someone who gently directs us toward the right when we want to go left, the epitome of love. She is known for her strength, gentle nature, kind words, thoughtful deeds, hard work, loving kindness, understanding, spiritual connection, and unselfish ways. She makes the world a much sweeter place to live in, and aren't we glad Adam needed a helpmate? The heartstring of God's creations, the flicker of light in a dim place, the encouragers of our soul. Who is the virtuous woman? Well, we like to call her Mother. That was short and sweet. So that was just a little poem that I wrote, that one more like 15 years ago or so. Most of my poems and things that I wrote, this one was actually published in the book of anthology of poems. I don't remember what volume, there's like 15,000 volumes of it. It's called Destiny. I was in a relationship, someone that I actually went to high school with that I reconnected with maybe 15 years later. And we just had a little relationship for about a year. And I was really feeling him. And we both, you know, had a love for God. And I guess that commonality really kind of held us together. So this one is called Destiny. There was a hole where it should have been filled, a need that could not wait until a warmth would come and calm the chill. If only it knew to just stand still until it clearly became his will, that a heart would touch another heart the way it could have been from start. If two had listened to the small voice within, 5 years would have not become 10. But the great one had a plan and a purpose for the hearts that he nurtured to not become worthless, that they should be paired as one together until today became forever. That was just short and sweet. Another one, Destiny. Of course, our forever never came, thank God. Ooh, thank God for grace. He spared me from that one. So there's a lot of little writings that, you know, I've done over the years. Many of you who know me know my story. Those who don't, I'll share a little piece of it. So I've already shared that my mom passed away in 2019. A couple of months later, my only child, Sheldon, at the age of 23, I found him dead in his bed a couple of months after my mom died. And then a month and a day after he died, I lost my favorite aunt, somebody I was very close to. She was like a second mother to me. So 2019 was really, really rough. And, I'm a Christian. I love God. And if it wasn't for my relationship, I don't know where I would be right now or what I would be doing, or if I'd be able to even talk on a platform like this. But God has kept me and has given me some supernatural strength that I didn't even know I had. He is the one who has picked me up from the lowest of low in the muck and mire. And he has kept me going all this time. And, me and my son had a really, really close relationship. He was an intellect. He was just an amazing young man, and his future was bright. And I questioned God. I said, what is going on here? But what I have learned is when you love God, it's not that you won't go through things, but when you do go through it, he will get you through it in a way that you would never understand. He gives you that peace that surpasses all understanding. And this is my life. And so I prayed to God one night and I said, God, I would do anything to hold my son again and to touch the jiggle of his middle. My son died in the middle of a furlough, but when we were furloughed or when I was working at home, he would come say, hey, what's up, Mom? He would come, and he's tall, he was 6'2". And I would put my arm around him and I would feel the jiggle of his middle, of his waistline. And I said, God, I would do anything just to feel the jiggle of his middle again. And I went to sleep one night last August in 2020. And I dreamt that I was in some apartment in DC. And when I looked to my right, it was my son's room. And I said, Sheldon, is that you? And he looked as if he was looking at a mirror. And then he turned around and looked at me and did like this. And so I'm saying to myself, okay, this is a visitation of some sort, or a dream, or something's going on here. And I had to go to the bathroom. I got up, went to the bathroom. But when I went back to sleep, I was right back in that same apartment. This time, Sheldon wasn't there. I looked for him everywhere. I said, Sheldon, where are you? Where are you? And I saw his phone sitting on his bed, which he never leaves without his phone. And I'm like, where are you, Sheldon? I'm looking for him. And so all of a sudden I picked up the phone and I made a phone call. I don't know who I called. And I said, have you seen Sheldon? Help me find him. I said, I'm really, really worried. It's in the middle of the night. This is not like him not to contact me. And the doorbell rang and I went to the door. And some woman walked in. Don't ask me who she was. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember what she looked like. I don't know who this woman was. But I asked her, did you find him? Did you find Sheldon? And she did like this. And I heard a car door shut. And I looked down. And for some reason, this apartment was on a very, very high hill. And Sheldon got out of the car. And he was walking up these, what seems like 10 sets of 10 steps. We were way up on like a hillside, and he walked up all them steps and he got in, and he walked in like it was nothing. And I said, Sheldon, where you been? I've been looking for you. And he's like, hey, Ma, what's going on? I gotta go. And he left as if he was going to the bathroom to take a shower or was gonna go somewhere else or something. And when he came out of the bathroom, I looked at him and he looked at me, and we walked slowly toward each other. And I held him and I felt the jiggle of his middle. And we cried. And I said, son, I love you and I miss you so much. And he said, Mama, I didn't want to go this early, but I love you. And I'll see you again one day. And when I woke up, I realized that the Lord loves me so much that he would grant the desires of my heart. And so I'm saying this to say that whatever you're going through, whatever faith you have, whatever, he can get you through anything. This is my testimony. This is not Smithsonian talking. This is Jenelle Cooper and her life speaking to you right now. But I want you to know that If I can get through that, surely you guys could get through anything if you just have just a mustard seed of faith. Think on those things that are good. Think on those things that are lovely. Think on those things that are true. And you will get through it. I try to always in my life to see things on a positive note. I could be going through, my friends know I'll fuss and, I'm like, oh, what's going on? Why is this happening? Whatever. And then I stop and look for a moment, and then the light will turn on and it says everything's going to be okay. So I choose to see the glass half full rather than half empty, even when I'm under a stressful situation. So I hope that these series of poems, hearing a little bit about your host and my life, and I'm hoping that, something that I've said, something that you've heard today would inspire you and encourage you to just keep going and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. I know 2020 has been a rough year. 2021 ain't much better. I know it has been rough. I know the country's opening back up, but I want you to be careful. I want you to still take precautions. And I want you to have a lovely remaining of 2021. I love you guys, and I thank you so much. I saw some high school colleagues. I saw some people I work with, some friends, some church members, and I thank you for coming and joining me today and supporting me. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. You can either type them in the chat or you can type them in the Q&A box, whatever you want. I'll be here to answer the questions for you if you have any. What's the ideal writing situation for you? Okay, so what is the ideal writing situation for me? Well, I mean, that wasn't a writing moment. And that's a book that I started that I have not finished, and it's called The Jiggle of His Middle. And it's about me and my son's relationship. Even after he's left this earth, we are still connected. Him and his spirit is still connected to my spirit. And so I'm writing about that relationship and how beautiful it is to have a relationship with people who have gone on. And that's what I'm writing about. But the perfect ideal situation is in the middle of the night when everybody's asleep, or, when it's totally quiet, and those times when your spirit is totally receptive to hearing from the voice of God, and how he inspires me to write whatever it is I'm writing at that moment. But any other time during the day, it's just busyness for me. And I can focus late at night. So that is the ideal writing situation for me. Hi, Linda Maxwell. I certainly will. Thank you. I don't see any other questions. So it looks like we are going to end early, but I wanted to share a little piece of a song that I started writing last year, and it's called That's Why I Love You. I'm just going to sing just a teeny bit of it because I have not finished it. That's why I love you. Lord, I love you, and I never ever can repay you for all you've done for me and how you set me free. Lord, I love you, and I never ever can repay you for what you've done for me and how you set me free. That's why I love you, Lord. That's why I love you. That's why I love you. And I can't say enough about you. That's why I love you. Just a little piece of it. I haven't finished. I have about another verse, but it's just not finished. And I just wanted to share just a little bit of that because it was in my spirit this week. So I thought maybe that's what God wanted me to do. But thank you guys so much for joining. I hope that you will join us 2 weeks from now as we will hear from a Reiki master, and she will teach us all about the Japanese art of healing called Reiki. So I hope that you guys will look on our website at anacostia.si.edu/events and register for the next program, which is July 8th. So I won't see you guys before the 4th of July. You guys have a wonderful holiday. I hope you guys are taking time for yourself, for your mind, your body, and your spirits. This is your host signing off. Please fill out the survey at the end of the call. And thank you again for joining. Have a blessed day.